What's good, guys? It's TKF here. I have another video for you. So I'm really sorry I haven't uploaded in a long time. I know it's been dire for me. I'm so sorry. I've just been really busy, but I do want to get straight into this. I'll talk to you guys more about it at the end. This is another sweeps and tips episode. This is probably going to be my last of the series, just a quick triple series. But anyway, enjoy the Rapushin or Conkeldurr sweep in the background. And let's talk about what we want to talk about today. So as you can tell by the title, today we're going to be talking about team building. So there's a few things that you can do within your team building to help your team overall, become more solid, more sturdy, being able to cope with more threats, and hopefully be able to deal out more threatening situations yourself. So the first thing that we should think about when coming to building a simple team would be the core. Now the core can consist of many different types, mainly one of the best types being steel, but we'll get to that later. The main core is just going to be your standard fire, water and grass core, so that could be anything. One of the best ones that I've seen would be I don't know, maybe think like fire types. If you wanted a defensive core, you could have like a Torkoal, Vaporeon and a bulky Shaman, just any fire, water, grass combination. Now Heatran, Celebi and Suicune works really well. That is a great core for all of you guys that just want to try that out. That is an absolutely outstanding core, be it offensive or defensive or maybe mixed. That is a really good core, so I recommend you guys check that out. So let's talk about the actual team. So obviously if you're starting with fire, water, grass, that leaves you with 3 other types you can then chuck in there. Now my advice to you guys would be, just to start out, you could try fire, water, grass, electric, ghost and steel. Now the reason steel works well is because it resists a lot of what is out there. I mean a lot. And what it doesn't resist, your core will be able to deal with. So for example, steel will resist so many things. But let's say it resists dark, so obviously fire or grass won't, or electric won't resist dark, neither will ghost. So obviously the ghost part of your team is going to be weak, so you can switch in your steel type to resist the dark, which is great. And if your fire is weak to water, you can switch in your grass, which is strong against the water. And if they attack you with a grass type to your water type, you can switch in your fire type. And vice versa, if they attack you with a water type on your fire type, you can switch in your grass type. So there's so many different possibilities with that core. It's pretty much a perfect core as it is. And the electric side will just give you an advantage over your opponent's team. Just something you can switch in to deal with their water types, rather than just having a water type stalwart or grass v water if you should lose your grass core or something. And then you got your ghost, which is just something to take up the normal type hits or the fighting type hits, which some of your other books may be weak to, like your steel for example. And then you have your steel types to resist all of the other types that your team doesn't and can cope with the weaknesses that your team is weak to. So that right there is a great core. I'm going to say that again. Fire, water, grass, electric, ghost, and steel. Really recommend you guys check that out. So another really important aspect about team building is you need to decide what's going to be your physical attackers, your special attackers, your defense walls, your special defense walls, and your lead. Now lead is possibly one of the most important things in the game. As you know, the most important move in any Pokemon game, regardless of what anybody says, is going to be Stealth Rocks, because needless to say, if people switch in a Volcarona or a Moltres, they're going to lose half HP right off the bat. And I can tell you for sure, a Moltres at half HP is much better than a Moltres at full HP. So I would seriously recommend using the lost my train of thought right there. Using the Stealth Rocks, because it's really going to come in handy. So I recommend you guys do that. Now, the next most important thing is devising your team into attackers and defenders, I guess. So if you say for a lead, obviously you guys have seen some great leads out there. For a more defensive lead, you could run the Donphan, the bulky Mew. This is 5th gen, where Mew's going to be not uber. So there's those kind of leads. There's the offensive leads like Azelf. There's just so many. I can't really go into them all. But then of course there's the other type of lead, which is going to be the suicide leads, which consist of Focus Sash Aerodactyl, Focus Sash Azelf, where you have the 3 elemental punches or something, or 2 elemental punches, the Stealth Rocks and Explosion, and then as soon as you get down to your Sash, you explode on their face. But in 5th gen, if you really want to try that, I would actually recommend the normal gem on that, just to boost the explosion, just because in 5th gen explosion got nerfed and whatnot. So yeah, and then you need to devise your attackers, your special attackers, your defenders, your special defenders, and your lead, which you've already covered. So I used to kind of play a lot like Xenon, where I used to have a lot of defensive Pokemon, but now I'm actually going quite offensive with my team. So is always great. I would strongly recommend having both a special attacker and physical attacker, if not more in one of each. So say you've got your lead, you've got one physical attacker and one special attacker, that already brings you down to 3 pokes. So say you got that done, you could have a defense wall, a special defense wall, which brings you up to 5 Pokemon, and then you could have kind of like a wild card on your team where you just do whatever. Maybe a mixed Ments would work perfectly, but you know, typing is something you really need to keep into consideration, because you don't want to have a whole team that's going to be weak to something like Fire, Water, Grass, Electric, Ghost and Steel. I know for a fact there's not one thing that's weak to, because obviously you got your Fire, Water, Grass core in there, which isn't weak to anything. But there's also those odd types you need to look out for, like Ice types are going to be quite common in 5th gen at the moment, just because of all of the Dragon types running around. I believe that's dying down in the metagame right now, but you know, still things to look out for. Ferrothorn is going to be a problem, so maybe give all your types something else that's not going to be stab. So for your grass type, say Shaman, have grass moves on it and whatnot, but I recommend having like a hidden power of some sort. Maybe like I don't know, hidden power fire, just in case you send in another grass type and you're walled by it, and say that's all you got left. You know, you want to be able to deal with that threat as best as possible. Like on my Ferrothorn, although I hate running it, I actually have hidden power fire on my Ferrothorn. So yeah, but it will work, trust me, it will work, just as long as you can deal more damage to another Ferrothorn, because you know it's not going to be able to leech seed you because you're grass and whatnot, I don't think. But anyway, that's just some suggestions, guys. Just take all these things into consideration. It's not so much of a, you know, this is going to make you improve right away, but it is definitely something for you guys to think about. It will seriously help you out within your team building. Let's just look at my team right here. You see I've got fighting, water, psychic, what the fuck is Ghost score? Ground, flying, and fire. So not a great team build right there. I think the opponent's team build is actually better than mine right there, but you know, I had the Conkeldurr sweep, so that was quite lucky. But just take into consideration, guys, see what you can pull out of this. I'm sure it'll help you guys out. If you found my other videos helpful, or if you found this one helpful, if you just enjoyed it, you know, hit that like button. It really does help me out, guys, so much. Save this video to your favorites if you want to refer to it later or whatnot. But anyway, it's been a pleasure bringing you guys another video, so please comment, like, sub, and I'll catch you guys later. Touche.